Before we dive into this video, I just wanted to, set expectations of what Themis is and the direction that we will be going with Themis. So, of course, people will understand that Pegaxy is not decentralized in any way. Of course, so moving forward, that's another experiment that we will approach in years to come when it does make sense. However, for now, we wanted to get Themis running and give utility to the governance token PGX in the interim. Basically, just so the community can participate in a more natural and efficient way. And that's the reason Themis does exist. So what is Themis? Themis is basically a voting and community sentiment platform where people who do hold PGX and are really part of the community are able to go there and express their opinions or, vote on certain proposals, whether it's from the community or from us, and interact with other people who do hold PGX as well in the comments. So I just wanted to preface that one for you guys so that your expectations are proper and when you do approach the platform. Hopefully this tutorial does help you, and I will see you in the next one. Hey team, how's it going? Corey here, of course. Okay, so this is the Themis tutorial. I'm going to go through as much as possible that I can remember. I've got a couple notes, but I should be able to do it. So I'm going to go from basically the start. If you're a new user, you've never used it before, I'll go through the general gist, connecting your wallet, everything. So let's just dive straight in. So you're going to visit the website. Firstly, you've got a night mode and a light mode. It's entirely up to you. I prefer the dark mode. I think 99% of people do as well. So you're going to go over to the connect with MetaMask before you do anything. You just want to connect that so that you can interact with 90% of the website. So once you click that, you're just going to click verify. Mine didn't pop up because of the way that I'm recording the screen. But you're going to click that one. Then you're going to click again on this one and verify your account. Once it's verified, another pop-up will come up. That one's just to make sure that you do own the account. Bang, then you're verified. It's obviously going to show your holdings that's in this wallet. This one has 10,000 PGX and 1900 USDT with some Matic as well. But the main thing that we're looking at here is the 10,000 PGX. So when we land here, we're going to land on the voting page. This is really the main page that you're going to be concerned with. This is where all of the proposals that are current or have closed or are pending or upcoming, I should say, are going to be. Now, before I dive in any further, a few of these titles in here, they may change name. So what you see may change just a little bit, but the general flow is good to go. I'm just doing it on the testnet now as it's not fully active. So you're going to look here and looking through it all, obviously these are all tests, so it will be something else written up here, but for now this is what a proposal looks like. So this one you can see here, you've got the statuses on the right hand side. Let's click on active. You're going to see all of the active ones. You go to the closed ones. These are the ones that have been completed. So it's been proposed, it's gone up, everybody's voted, now it's closed and a decision has been made. Down here you'll see the decision, option 3.1. No votes were submitted on this one. The letter E version 1, whatever that means, you can see there. And then pending, this one will actually say upcoming. So these are the ones that are starting in X amount of days. So you'll see this one starts in 4 days. That means you guys can obviously discuss separately if you wanted to, but you can also go in there and discuss it about the proposal. Now, obviously there's an all section where you can see them all combined. You just go through the pages. We're just going to go to an active one and have a look at what's happening here. So once you go into it, you click into it and you're basically going to see all of the information. I know this looks a little bit crazy, but just ignore, the body of the text. It'll make a little bit more sense later. However, you're going to have a lot of different sections to really make sure that whoever's making this proposal makes it very, very clear. So summary is going to be just a very brief summary of the entire proposal. I'll go through how to submit a proposal, what you do with the proposals anyway a little bit later. But this one again is your submission. So your summaries, I should say, sorry. So summarize what it is you're going to be talking about in the proposal, your problem, what the problem is that we're trying to solve, the appetite, how long you think it's going to take or how much importance we should put on it. The solution, basically this part is what you want to do. The rabbit holes, these are things that we should be avoiding or we should be doing. And the no-goes, these ones are absolutely should avoid inside the proposals, even if it's developing a certain direction. This will make a little bit more sense later, because when you're creating the proposal, we explain this to you anyway. So on the right hand side, this is quite an important section. You're going to be able to see the proposal ID. Each proposal has a separate ID, and then you're going to see the submitter. The submitter actually has their wallet here. So this is just a submitter ID right now. This will actually display the wallet, and if you wanted to copy it, you're able to just click on that one and you'll see up here it copies the clipboard. Same with this one. If the staff ever ask what one you're looking for or what one you're talking about, you can just come back and look at the proposal ID and they'll be able to look it up. You've got the start and the finish date, of course, because there will be a countdown and these are fixed time. You come down here and this is actually what the results are. So you know, the weight of the votes. Of course, down here you're going to see the countdown as I was mentioning, and then finally you've got the voters. So as more people do vote here, I believe probably it's going to be showing the top 10, might be showing less, but it's going to put the top voters up here, and you're obviously going to be able to see whose wallet it is, so you'll just be able to go and explore the wallet. Scrolling down, this is actually where we get to the voting section. So here you've got good and you've got bad. So we'll click on this one. I've actually already voted on with this wallet, so you'll see on here I said bad, and that's us down here. So 10,000 PGX has gone to the bad. In the good, there's only 173 and a 468 votes, so it's got 1% of the vote. But let's say I want to change my vote, because you can change it as much as you like before the voting ends. So you're going to go over to here. It'll be we're going for good, so I'll just click on the vote section. It's going to say vote successful. You'll get something up here that'll say vote successful. There's a few small things that'll come, and you can see that it has now flipped, which is pretty good. So I'm voting for the good side. There's a couple things up here that I will touch on in a little bit as well. However, down the bottom you can see the comments. Of course, what we're doing over here, I know I should probably blank this one out, but we're all adults. This is something that we're testing with moderation, because I want you guys to understand that this platform is moderated as well. So you have to be very, very careful about what you're commenting, because they can see it. Obviously, profanities or offensive language or being rude to other people, anything like that, it's not going to be allowed on the platform. Testing. Oops, sorry. Testing. Holy moly. Forgot how to type English. So we're going to comment, and it's going to go down the bottom here. There's going to be some quality of life stuff that does get added as well, where you can sort by most recent at the top, the oldest at the bottom, all that type of stuff. That is still yet to come, but that'll come in the future. Now, what we're looking up at the top here is obviously the status. This is the entire amount of PGX that has been committed to vote in general. So the entirety of all the PGX being used to vote. This one here is saying whether or not the Pegaxy team has either commented, it was proposed by the Pegaxy team, or we've voted on it. We just wanted that one for, I guess, transparency, so that we can't come on and just, you know, swing the votes or something without someone knowing, or make a proposal but pretend to be someone else. Like, we're going to obviously have to register all of our team wallets. We make sure the team has theirs registered as well, and it's going to come up here, so you guys know if we've commented or we've interacted with it. And then finally, on the right hand side, you guys are going to be able to, you know, if you make a proposal and you want to get people involved, you can obviously go and share it directly onto those platforms. You're going to have the link that you can send out directly as well, but we thought we would just make it easier. So you can share it out there. So this kind of summarizes, I guess, the proposal page in a general sense. And then I'll come back and you guys are going to be able to see that everything here will be updated if it is, you know, the active ones, the amount that has been voted, the direction of the swing, whether it's active or not. And you can see, of course, this one's going to end in 7 days. Now, when we click on the related to me section, basically what this means is that anything that I've done, whether I've voted, whether I've commented, or I made that proposal, it's going to come up here, so it's easy for you. You don't need to go through all the proposals and find it. If you've interacted with it, you know, contributed to it in some way, it's going to come up here. That's just what the related to me section is. Now, we'll go over to my proposals. I haven't made any proposals yet, but let's say that I do want to make a proposal. This is going to be the process. So title, I want to kill all Pega. I don't know why, but you want to. The summary, like I said earlier, basically this is going to be the summary of everything that you're talking about. So you can just make something up like, I want them to die so that we can restart the population from scratch. I don't know why you want to do that, but that's why you want to, that's what you're going to be talking about. Now, we've got the tag section here. This is very, very important that you guys do this. You're going to be talking about Pega, and if in your proposal you're talking about the economy as well, great, you're going to want to tag the economy. Please make sure that you guys do this. If you do miss something or it's irrelevant, remember that this is a moderated platform. I did talk about it on one of our AMAs as well. However, essentially with this beta phase, what's going to happen is that we're just trying to get as many people to use the platform as possible. To use the platform, you obviously do need to hold PGX, and each interaction, each type of thing, like not everyone can do submissions, not everyone can comment, not everyone can vote. Actually, I believe everyone, if you hold PGX, can vote, because it's dependent on weight. But as time goes on, it's going to get more complex. What that means is that the way that the votes are weighted is going to be different to how it is now. But again, it is a very, very basic platform. And the reason we do that is because we want you guys to get used to this type of system. And naturally and gradually, we are going to make it a little bit more intense and increase the, I guess, the complexity so that it can be more, not so much decentralized, but have more power within the ecosystem as well. So sorry, now that I've got that out of the way, we'll continue on here. So you guys are going to be able to see, this is where we're talking about the problem. So we need to, I guess, preface why there needs to be a solution. So you guys need to be talking about the problem. As you can see here, it says the raw idea, a use case, or something that we've seen that motivates us to work on this. And it's important that you guys use all of this as well. You guys can add images, you can add links, you know, your titles. You want to make sure that this proposal is solid and not just some half-assed thing that you've not put much effort into. Again, in the appetite, how much time we want to spend on it, and then the solution is obviously the core elements we came up with, presented in a form that's easy for people to understand. Rabbit holes, details of the solution worth calling out to avoid the problems, and then the no-goes, anything specifically excluded from the concept, functionality, or use cases we intentionally aren't covering. There's an error there, we will fix it, no worries. So when you come down here, and if you haven't done it, it's going to mark everything red that you do need to do. So we'll come through here, we'll just copy and paste a whole bunch of stuff like we did in those other proposals that you saw earlier. Now this is where we get to the voting options. You always need two options, so usually it's just going to be yes or no. It may be a yes, no, maybe. You can add as many options as required. You know that you might have 3 different sections, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and you add the numbers on there. Just note that it is also saving the draft up here. So if I click out and I want to come back later, you can see that there's a little save mark. So I just go back into it. It's all saved, and you can go back into it if you're going to do some research or something. So option number 4, I don't know. It reminds me of a TV show back in the day. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Anyway, what we're going to do now is click submit. And what that's going to do is basically create the proposal. It's going to come up here pending. Now note, this doesn't get approved and go out there and have a countdown straight away. These are all verified and screened by our staff who are governing Themis. So on the back end, they're going to check that all of the formats are correct. You know, there's no troll submission that you guys need to filter through or anything like that. You got to make sure that the options are correct, the tags are correct, everything like that. These guys are going to go through it. And if they're happy with it, what they're going to do is then click approve on that one. And what it will do is, again, obviously be shown in your related to me section, but then it'll be over here in the vote section. It'll come under not pending, like I said earlier, this will be upcoming. So when it's in the upcoming section, it'll say upcoming in 2 days, for example, if that's what the moderators did set it to. The moderators are the ones who are able to set how long it takes before it does go live, and you're obviously going to be able to see it all right there. So other than that, that's basically how you guys use Themis. Now there are some restrictions that I did want to go through on the proposals and stuff like that. So Where are we? We'll go to an active one. We'll go to what else is there? These are all tests, so we'll go to this one again like we did earlier. And let's say you want to have a vote. Like I mentioned earlier, you need minimum of 1 PGX to vote. If you want to comment, you need at minimum $100 worth of PGX to make a comment. That means you are a significant holder of PGX. The reason we chose that value is that it's also because at the initial sale of Pega, that was the minimum cost of a Pega. The smallest, the lowest cost was $100. Now, to be able to submit create a submission, create a proposal, you need $500 worth of PGX. Why? Because that was roughly the same price as the most expensive Pega during our sale. As always, these figures are variable, but we think this is probably going to wean out a vast majority of the proposals that people generally don't care about or don't want to see, and it's going to put significant holders of these tokens at least in the eye, or have the option to produce some pretty solid proposals. Now what I want to do is discuss how the voting system does actually work. So let's say in this case, we'll go to an active one, and we're here. We can see that there's 6 days, 12 hours, 31 minutes, and 22 seconds remaining on this one. And we're voted for, I believe, number 2 for the good. Sweet. So my vote's in. Happy days. Now, what will happen is if you've made this vote and you decide to sell your PGX, at the end of this 6 days, 12 hours, and 31 minutes, once that hits 0, it takes a snapshot. If you don't hold that PGX in your wallet, it doesn't count. It only takes it if you're holding it in your wallet. So of course you're able to swing it as much as you like if you have large influence, but if you don't hold that PGX at the end of that vote, unfortunately it will not count. And that goes for all votes. The reason we do that is obviously the snapshot is a proof of ownership. So you just can't, send it to someone, make them do a vote, send it to the next person, make them do a vote, send it to the next person, make that do a vote. Because when we take that snapshot, all of those people are not going to own the PGX at that point in time. So unfortunately, it just will not count. And that's obviously for security. So yes, you guys need to make sure that at the end of this voting, you still do hold the amount of PGX that you did contribute towards the vote. And that goes for all the votes. You guys are able to vote on as many as you want at a time if they are active. So if you're passionate about, if you're passionate about this one, if you're passionate about this one, if you're passionate about this one, you're able to come in again and vote for it. I like number 2, so I'm going to move the votes. Happy days. I'll move it back and go to the next one. You can see in the related to me, it didn't work, but it will. It will update in the related to me because you have done a vote. And that's basically it. I know that there's going to be a lot of questions. Over here, we will also create an FAQ section just to make sure that if you missed anything here, it is covered. I'm sure I did miss something, but I'm excited to get this one out to you guys. Finally, it's a centralized area where you guys are able to discuss and properly propose things plus vote on them for people who are actually active and I guess owners within this ecosystem. So thank you guys so much for your support. You will be seeing this one very, very soon, and enjoy your day. Cheers.